everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and these are the Mello Yello Duel races, and we are here at the Daytona International Speedway to determine the starting lineup for the Season 5 Chick-fil-A Cup Series Daytona 500. We got 23 drivers in each race here today for the Mello Yello Duel, and this will determine, this race here, Duel number 1, will determine the inside lane starting position for the Daytona 500. The number 11 of Cameron Black won the pole position yesterday in qualifying, so no matter what happens to him in this race, he will start on the pole for the Daytona 500 on Saturday. And two guys from this race will fail to qualify for the race. Whoever finishes highest of the three part-time drivers in this race, Ben Clark, Jek Porkins, and I think the other part-time driver is Max Neuwirth. Yeah, but whoever finishes highest of those three drivers will qualify for the Daytona 500. The other two will go home. But anyways, let's go ahead, get this one started here, and go ahead and get to the starting lineup, which will be on the bottom of your screen. I'll go through the top 10 for duel race number 1 here in the Mello Yello Duel. It's Cameron Black and Larry Ike starting on the front row. We got Trey Barto, Stuart Gratton in row number 2. A couple 5-season veterans in that row right there. We have Josh Crash and Michael DeFeo, 2 rookies running in row number 3. Nicolas Samudio and Christian Master. Nicolas Samudio, the Season 2 Daytona 500 winner. The NRLOA Super Speedway Master, Tristen Allen and Griffin Lynn round out the top 10. You take a look at the rest of the starting lineup on the bottom of your screen right there. The drivers with the asterisk of those 3 drivers, whoever finishes highest of those 3 drivers will advance on to the Daytona 500. The other 2 will go home and make their first start of the season at Atlanta on whenever that'll end up being. I don't know when. But anyways, it's 10 laps around the Daytona International Speedway for these 23 drivers. This race will determine the inside lane starting grid for the Daytona 500 on Saturday, with the exception, of course, of the pole position, which will go to Cameron Black no matter what happens in this race. But still, you're trying to get third for the 500, and that's a good starting position if you can get this win. Excuse me there. But anyways, this is duel number 1. Duel number 2 is going to be at the end of this race. That'll determine, or going to be after this race, I should say. That'll determine the outside starting position. But here in duel number 1, we're looking to determine the inside starting position. And it's 10 laps here at Daytona. I already said that, I know. But anyways, pace car is going to pull off. Cameron Black and Larry Ike are going to lead us to the green flag. And we're racing here in the Mello Yello Duel at Daytona. Inside gets a good jump. Cameron Black goes to the outside now. Here comes Stuart Gratton with help from Michael DeFeo and Nicolas Samudio on the inside lane. Now you do see that Stuart Gratton has a custom car. I might have mentioned this in the Mello Yello Smooth Fest, but after season number 5, custom cars will not be allowed anymore. I do believe that it's just a little too complicated, and personally I don't like it. For a series where most of the cars are just the normal Sprint Cup Series cars. I don't have time to paint them myself, so I'll probably never be doing a custom car series. So, yeah, this is the way it is, but I'm not really a fan of the custom cars in a series like this. Anyway, Stuart Gratton will lead lap number 1. Here comes Michael DeFeo in the number 20 to the inside of the 47. The outside lane here at Daytona Speedway Physics can get a good jump, especially down the backstretch. As you see, Stuart Gratton getting a good run there. And both of the lanes can run rather equally here at this racetrack, and at the moment, that is what's happening. Stuart Gratton getting a good push on the outside there of Michael DeFeo. Gratton trying to lead the second lap of this race. He's going to barely edge out DeFeo for lap number 2. Nicolas Samudio is in the 13. Remember what I said, he won the Season 2 Daytona 500 in stunning fashion as he beat Daytona in that race. That was probably the best finish any Daytona 500 has ever had on YouTube. I'm not trying to brag, but, you know, it was a very good finish. Probably the closest finish in Daytona 500 in 2003 history. But Nicolas Samudio returns to the same ride he drove when he won that Daytona 500 in season number 2. And he's looking for some good luck in that 13 this season. And I like this kind of racing here where they stay side by side. Gratton is getting that outside lane to work. Stuart Gratton has not won a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race since season number 1 at Dover. He has essentially been in every single points-paying race since then. But he still hasn't gotten a win since, I think it was race 9 in season 1, and that was a long time ago. Anyways, here comes Nicolas Samudio, 3 wide to the inside of Michael DeFeo and Stuart Gratton, trying to get something done down there, but it's the outside lane that's getting a good push. However, now it looks like the middle lane's going to get the good push. We might be 3 wide coming to the line here. I toned down the percentage to 106% so that we could discourage crashing from happening. Oh no! Gratton just blew up in the 47! And that's going to slow down the whole outside lane. Oh man! What happened there? Gratton going to the apron, that's going to split the field up. And it looks like Stuart Gratton's going to be starting in the back of the field for the Daytona 500. He did start in the back of the field last season, and he got a pretty decent finish. But it looks like it's done for the 47 here today in the Mello Yellow Duel. It's now Bryce Lofor in the number 41. Remember, the number 41 won one of the duel races last season with Dan Park driving it. Bryce Lofor, a rookie. Nicolas Samudio, a 4-season veteran here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And Nicolas Samudio and Jesse Turner are going to be the only 2 drivers in this season's Daytona 500 who have won previous Daytona 500s. It looks like it's going to be an 8-car battle for the win here in duel number 1. We'll go and look at the part-time guys here and see which one of those guys is ahead at the moment. And currently it is the number 33 of Jek Porkins. However, he has part-time driver Ben Clark right behind him in this pack. It's going to be a battle between those 2 guys to see which one of these part-time drivers advances on to the Great American Race. Max Neuwirth, unfortunately, it looks like he's going to be too far back in this duel race to get anywhere. And Max Neuwirth, who has had some rather wild rides at this racetrack, doesn't look like he's going to get into the Daytona 500 for season number 5. Unfortunate thing for him. He's been with BK Racing his whole career in that number 93. Well, not in the number 93, but he's been with BK Racing his whole career. Won the Rookie of the Year for season number 2 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but unfortunately it looks like he's going to miss the Daytona 500. However, he will make his first start of the season at Atlanta, the next race of the season here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We're going to go ahead and follow for the lead here in duel number 1. It's Nicolas Samudio in the number 13, who is currently leading the field. We got the 20 of Michael DeFeo and the 41 of Bryce Lofor. I almost said Dan Park there. Ahead still in season 4 here. But Bryce Lofor, a rookie in the 41, trying to get the inside lane to work. We have Hierjel, Arvin, Alonso, and Mello Yello Smooth Fest winner Heiden on the inside lane. Any of these guys still in this pack can still get this win, I think. But it's looking pretty good for Nicolas Samudio in the 13. And the last time we had a Daytona 500 with Nicolas Samudio driving the 13, Nicolas Samudio won. Samudio trying to get the outside lane to work, but Bryce Lofor, a rookie in the number 41, trying to start 3rd for the Great American Race, is getting a good push on the inside. However, here Joe Arvin Alonso has help from Heiden on the inside, and they're going to leave Lofor all by himself in the middle lane. And this is good news for Nicolas Samudio, who now is out front single file. We'll follow here to see which one of these part-time guys is currently leading, and it is right now the number 33 of Jek Porkins, who would advance on to the Great American Race. White flag here in duel number 1 at Daytona. Who's going to start 3rd for the Daytona 500? Bryce Lofor has a run to the inside of Nicolas Samudio, but he does not have any help. And I think Samudio is going to get the push on the outside lane here. Nicolas Samudio, as I said, he's a 4-season veteran in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He's won a Daytona 500 before. It's been a while since he's done much here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but it looks like he's going to get something done here today. Coming out of turn number 4, The Season 2 Daytona 500 champion Nicolas Samudio is going to win Duel number 1 and start third for the Season 5 Daytona 500. And the part-time driver that will advance on to the Great American Race is the number 33 of Jek Porkins. Ben Clark and Max Neuwirth unfortunately failed to qualify for the Daytona 500. A nice caution-free race there. And Nicolas Samudio got the victory in the number 13. He's back to victory lane at Daytona, and he will start third for the Daytona 500, looking to become the first driver to win 2 Daytona 500s in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. But a very, very dominant day there for Nicolas Samudio. He really got that outside lane to work, and because of that, he was able to come home with the victory. We got Michael DeFeo, who will start 5th. Bryce Lofor will start 7th. Heiden will start 9th. And Griffin Lynn will start 11th for the Daytona 500. Of course, at the end of this video, I will go over the Daytona 500 starting lineup. Jek Porkins will be the part-time driver that advances on to the Great American Race. He beats out Ben Clark and Max Neuwirth for that position. Stuart Gratton had a camshaft issue. He failed to finish this race. He will start in 41st place for the Daytona 500 on Saturday. And Cameron Black, the pole sitter for the Daytona 500, finished in 15th place. But anyways, this is half of the action here today. We got Duel number 2 coming up right after this. So thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Nicolas Samudio. And here we go for Duel race number 2 to determine the outside starting grid for the Daytona 500. And here we are for Duel race number 2 in the Mello Yello Duel at Daytona. The other 23 drivers will race to determine the outside starting positions for the Daytona 500 on Saturday. And Aidan Shepherd starts on the pole. And he will, no matter what happens in this race, start 2nd for the Daytona 500 on Saturday. So congratulations to him on that. The 3 drivers that need to race their way in, and whoever finishes highest of these 3 drivers are John Andrews, Landon Napa, and Marty Johnson. As I said, whoever finishes highest of those 3 drivers will qualify for the Daytona 500. The other 2 part-time drivers in this race have already qualified for the 500 as they raced their way in on time yesterday in qualifying. That's William Brock and Dan Smith Jr. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this started, and hopefully it works this time. My computer just shut down. It didn't like erase anything, but it just shut down when I was trying to review a crash. The first time I tried to record the second Duel race, I went to where you have like the starting lineup and or the controls and everything, and I am noticing at this moment that the Bandicam file isn't near as big, so that's a good sign. Yeah. Anyways, starting lineup on the bottom of your screen right there. Aidan Shepherd in the number 3 starting on the pole. Alongside him, Zachary Fitzwater. We got Josh Marzak and part-time driver William Brock, who has already raced his way into the 500. He's good to go. John Andrews needs to race his way in if he wants to make it into the 500. You got Dan Smith Jr. who's already qualified his way into the 500. And Blaine Keys, Cody Smart, and then Caleb Hoffman, Nicolas Gratton, rounding out the top 10 starting positions here at Daytona. Take a look at the rest of the starting lineup on your screen. And it's Aidan Shepherd who will lead him to the green flag for Duel number 2. 10 laps as always. But this one might be a little crazier than the first one. You know how Duel races usually are. The first one's usually, or one of them's usually calm. The other one's usually pretty crazy. And I have a feeling that might be what happens for this one. But hopefully Bandicam works with me. I tell you, I mean, ever since I upgraded the Windows 10, it has given me so many problems. The game is not the culprit here. The game's fine. It's just the recording software on top of the game that doesn't really work too well. But hey, you know what? Hopefully you can get it fixed and figured out so we can have a good season here for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. But don't worry, guys. It'll be good. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. I guarantee we'll be getting this stuff on the road here. And we'll have a good summer here on Napa Van. But anyways, pace car is going to pull off. Aidan Shepherd and Zachary Fitzwater are going to lead us to the green flag. And we're racing here at Daytona for Mello Yello Duel number 2. The outside lane for the Daytona 500 to be determined in this race. fix it again. As long as the frame rate of the game doesn't go down. If that ends up happening, then that's a sign that it's not really going to take it too much more. But hopefully, just hopefully. I hated that, you know, it's like it could happen at any moment, and you don't really know when it's going to be. That's very stressful, but you know what? Can't really think about that now. Aidan Shepherd in the number 3, able to keep the lead for now. Here comes William Brock to the inside of him. Dan Smith Jr. right behind the 59. Both of those guys, the 2 part-time drivers who have already qualified for the 500. It's going to be William Brock who leads lap 1 in Duel 2. Cody Smart on the inside, a rookie driver. As a matter of fact, okay, William Brock's not a rookie driver. He raced last season. He actually came second in the championship last season. He unfortunately got a part-time ride for this season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but you know what? He's already in the 500, and he's got just as good of a shot at winning the 500 as everybody else in the field. Here goes Aidan Shepherd to the outside, though. He's getting that outside lane to work with Zachary Fitzwater, rookie Josh Marziak helping him. Dan Smith Jr. helping the 59 on the inside there. Trying to get that 59 to the lead, but Aidan Shepherd has a good run here on the outside, but it's going to be William Brock who leads the first 2 laps of the race. Here comes Dan Smith Jr. in the number 35. He's going to get a run to the inside of William Brock. And Aidan Shepherd, or is he? Yep, he will for now, but he might not be able to make it stick because these guys have a lot of help, especially on the outside. They're nice and orderly on the outside, but they're kind of scattered on the inside lanes. And Aidan Shepherd getting a really good push from Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater may be able to clear Brock here, but he's not going to be able to do it. The 3 of Aidan Shepherd stays out front here at Daytona. Starting on the pole for this one. We'll start second for the Daytona 500 on Saturday. And all the guys that qualify from this race will start on the outside for the Daytona 500. Just don't exactly know where they'll be starting because we got to determine where they finish. That's why we race, and hopefully we can get to that. I'm trying to not to make you guys nervous. Don't worry. Of course, I'll figure the problem out. You know, we'll get it all worked out and resolved. But it is a little frustrating because you never know when the computer's going to shut down. How lovely. Yeah. Anyways, Aidan Shepherd in the 3 on the outside here, the 59 of William Brock and Dan Smith Jr. They're 3 wide for the lead, and there goes part-time driver Dan Smith Jr. to the point. And it looks like he's going to have a good enough run here on William Brock and Aidan Shepherd to lead lap number 4. Here comes another part-time driver, Landon Napa, who is currently in the position to qualify for the Daytona 500, being the highest of the 3 guys who need to qualify at the moment. Cameron Gaju in the 32, Matt Dallio in the 88. Matt Dallio, the defending champion of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, doing pretty good right now. Can't check the mail right now, but I'll get to it. Anyways, Dan Smith Jr. in the 35, in the middle. Here comes Landon Napa for the lead. 2 part-time drivers side by side for the lead on lap 5 of this race. And Landon Napa is going to lead at the halfway point of dual race number 2. Here comes Cameron Gaju trying to get something to work on this inside. It looks like the inside lane is working a little bit better here. I hope we don't end up with a caution in this one, because I don't want to have to review the crash for one thing. I have a feeling that's going to overload my computer a little bit. Anyways, Cameron Gaju getting a push from Matt Dallio on the inside. Dan Smith Jr. getting the outside lane to work. It was Nicolas Samudio who won dual race number 1. We have another longtime veteran win a dual race here. At the moment, it looks like we might, because we got quite a few quite a few veterans, I should say, on this inside lane here. And at the moment, it looks like the inside lane's the place to be. If the caution were to come out now, the race would be over. We would not get back to racing. Cameron Gaju out front in the 32. Here comes Matt Dallio, the defending champion in the 88. Tyler Selspin in the 19, and Marty Johnson, a part-time driver trying to race his way in. If he gets around Landon Napa, he'll be in the good position to advance onto the 500. John Andrews getting stuck on the outside. Doesn't look like he's going to advance the way they're running right now. There goes Matt Dallio to the inside of Cameron Gaju for the lead. And the defending champion picks up right where he left off, in first place. But it's 3 laps to go still here in dual race number 2. Surprised we haven't gotten a caution yet, but I'm kind of glad we haven't. So that means I don't have to review it or anything. Anyways, there goes Tyler Selspin with Marty Johnson and Ryan Madden to the inside, or behind him, I should say. Matt Dalio in the middle. Cameron Godfrey trying to get something to work on the outside. Got a really good push down the backstretch, but the inside lane has a lot more help now. Wasn't like that early on in the race. Early on, the outside lane had most of the help, but now it's the inside lane that has all the help. And Tyler Selspin's going to lead it with 2 laps to go in duel number 2. And at the moment, Marty Johnson would be the part-time driver to qualify for the Daytona 500 in the number 40. There's Marty Johnson to the inside of the 19 of Tyler Selspin. Here comes the 22 of Ryan Madden, the defending Rookie of the Year. There isn't going to be a Rookie of the Year championship this year, but Ryan Madden, he got the reserve for the number 22 in Season 5, and he returned to the ride this season, looking to win duel number 2. And how about this? Jonathan Skabnicki, he's not a rookie driver. He raced in the first 2 seasons of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Took a 2-year break, or 2-season break, I should say. And here he is, running up front with 1 lap to go in duel race number 2. Ryan Madden leads it. In the number 22, here comes Skibnicki, here comes Elijah Gordon, and here comes the first ever winner in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, Jesse Turner, in the number 43. Turner has Seth Cole behind him, Caleb Hoffman, and Season 3 champion Cameron Garlington behind him. Jesse Turner was the Season 2 Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion. Oh, Seth Cole came close to making it 4 wide, but they didn't. And here comes Jesse Turner in the number 43. It's been since Season 2 since he's won anything in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but it looks like it might change today. But Elijah Gordon getting a run on the outside, not gonna happen. Jesse Turner wins duel race number 2 here at Daytona. And that was the same exact ride he won the Season 1. Hey, I just noticed this. Nicolas Samudio won the first duel race, and Jesse Turner won the second one. They're the only 2 drivers we have who have won Daytona 500s in previous seasons of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series anymore. How about that? Well, it's looking pretty good for the past Daytona 500 champions, and it's looking good for Marty Johnson. Marty Johnson's going to advance on to the Daytona 500 after being the highest finishing part-time driver. Yeah, he was actually the highest finishing part-time driver in this race. So he will start in the Daytona 500. Not entirely sure where. But how about that? Jesse Turner gets it done in duel number 2. We went caution-free in both duel races. That's good. So hopefully this is kind of where my computer kind of conked down on me last time, but the frame rate was really bad when it did that the last time I tried to record a race, and it's good here, so that's good news there. Jesse Turner, Elijah Gordon, Seth Cole, Jonathan Skabnicki, and Ryan Madden, the top 5 for this one. And it's Landon Napa and John Andrews who will unfortunately fail to qualify for the Daytona 500. William Brock and Dan Smith Jr. already qualified for the 500, and that is why they are not going to get eliminated. But Marty Johnson's in the 500. William Brock and Dan Smith Jr. also in the 500. And Season 1 Daytona 500 champion Jesse Turner's going to start 4th for the Daytona 500, but it will be Cameron Black and Aidan Shepherd who lead the field to green, and in the second row it's going to be the past 2 Daytona 500 champions, Nicolas Samudio, or not the past 2 Daytona 500 champions, the first 2 Daytona 500 champions, Nicolas Samudio and Jesse Turner, the only 2 Daytona 500 champions we'll have in the field on Saturday. Anyways, I'm not done yet. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the official starting lineup for the Daytona 500, and then that'll be it for this video. So I'm not done yet, but congratulations to Jesse Turner for getting it done here in duel race number 2. How about the 2 Daytona 500 champions? 2 Daytona 500 champions we still have getting the victories here today. But anyways, that's it for me. Well, no, it actually isn't for me, because here's the starting lineup for the Daytona 500. I'm going to go over it, and then that'll be it for me. So here's the Daytona 500 starting grid for Season 5 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Okay, so here is the Season 5 Daytona 500 starting grid. You got Cameron Black and Aidan Shepherd. They both locked their positions in Daytona 500 qualifying on the front row, and they will start on the front row for the Great American Race. Nicolas Samudio and Jesse Turner, how about that? The only 2 past Daytona 500 champions we have in the field, winning both duel races. They're going to both start in the same row, row number 2. That's a pretty loaded row right there. Rookie Michael DeFeo will start alongside Elijah Gordon in row number 3. Rookie Bryce Lofor and rookie Seth Cole in row number 4. You know, it's looking like we're going to have a lot of rookies up front. but then we got a point here. We'll get to it when there aren't that many rookies. As a matter of fact, it's kind of right now. You got Eric Heiden, Jonathan Skivnicki, both of those guys are veteran drivers. And about the only rookie in betweens row 5 and row 11, Griffin Lynn in the 38. We'll start alongside Ryan Madden in row 6. Then we got a lot of veterans. Abe Troxell, Caleb Hoffman in row 7. Hierjel, Arvin, Alonso, and defending champion Matt Dalio in row 8. Matt Tuck, Marty Johnson in row 9. Alex Bonsignore and Cameron Garlington, the season 3 champion, in row 10. John Arndt and Tyler Selspin in row 11. Then we got some more rookies. Payton Beasley, Noah Cars in row 12. Jek Porkins and William Brock, a couple of part-time guys in row 13. Jacob Reed, Cameron Gaju in row number 14, Christian Master and Nicolas Gratton in row 15, Trey Barto, Garrett Sydnor in row 16. Row 17 has 2 rookies. I didn't actually note that Dan Smith Jr. was a rookie. My bad there. But there he is there. That's in row 17 with Tristen Allen, Dan Smith Jr. You got Josh Crash, Cody Smart, a couple of rookies in row 18, Davey Johnson, Josh Marzak in row 19, Larry Ike, Blaine Keys in row 20, and a couple of Australians in the final row, Stuart Gratton and Zachary Fitzwater. Not really getting good dual races, but that's the official Season 5 Daytona 500 starting grid. The guys unfortunately failing to qualify were the number 26 of Landon Napa, the number 30 of John Andrews, the number 93 of Max Neuwirth, and I'm very sorry, I'm probably forgetting here. I am forgetting here. Who was it? I can't remember who the other part-time driver is. I'm so sorry. I'll figure it out here. Let me get my... I'm very, very sorry to this guy, whoever... Ben Clark in the 55. You rock, man. But, those 4 guys, they'll make their first starts at Atlanta. But that is the official starting grid for the Daytona 500. So, got a couple races coming up tomorrow and Friday with the Napa Truck Series and the Turkey Hill Series. Then we got the Daytona 500 on Saturday. So thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Nicolas Samudio and Jesse Turner once again for winning their dual races. And that is it for me. So thank you guys very much for watching once again. And I will see you guys later.